I mean, please put the two of them up on the ticket for next presidential election. Please. I mean, we're begging you to at this point. I personally would love, as an American citizen, for the Democrat Party to put up Gavin Newsom and Jasmine Crockett for their leadership. Just saying it out loud. Please. Here's the thing. I keep seeing the same thing from this video from people, and it's always the bots, of course. It's never real people with actual pages. But for shits and giggles, let's get into it. The best economy in the world. Meanwhile, the highest taxes, the most debt, millions supposedly spent on some high-speed rail you never got, has the most homelessness.
It's all funny. And then I think all our tax dollars probably went for Gavin's hair gel. I don't know, but it's like, it's sad.
Is Obama side with Gavin Newsom on something? We all know Ted Cruz is not having when you take a look at this, Gavin Newsom and Obama are lying and they are hypocrites. The most egregious gerrymandering in the country are virtually all Democrats. CA. You can look down here, you will see it clearly. Texas is going from 63 to 76, still less than all of the above. Gavin Newsom saw the loopholes and came in struggling to play politics. Obama tweeted this. Over the long term, we should not have political gerrymandering in America, just a fair fight between Republican and Democrat based on who got better ideas. But since Texas is taking direction from a partisan White House and gerrymandering in the middle of a decade to try and maintain the House, this time, despite their unpopular policies, I have tremendous respect for how Gavin Newsom has approached this. He has put forward smart measures approach in California designed to address a very particular problem at a very particular moment in time.
Meanwhile, the highest taxes, the most millions supposedly spent on some high-speed rail you never got, has the most homelessness, encampments, has the most businesses and people mass exodus from that state, right? Okay, keep up with me. Just let the Palisades burn. I mean, burn. Everyone lost their home. People are having a hard time even getting permits to rebuild their homes. Meanwhile, you got developers on the down low sneaking up, buying up properties left, right, and center because California Senate passed a bill allowing the government to come in and take these people's property from them, to give to their buddy developers, right? Everyone's in on the over in California, right? And you guys are like, but it's the best economy in the world. It feeds the red states, all that, that kind of nonsense. It's like the typical talking point you have. Meanwhile, you ignore everything that I just said. Then have a big concert with full of celebrities and raise what we're now hearing almost $380 million, promising that the people of California, that money would directly go to them. And guess what? Not one person in California received one dime of that money. Where did it go? Supposedly through a bunch of Democratic nonprofits and NGO and all that kind of stuff. No one that lost their homes in a fire that could have been 100% preventable got a dime of that money. Wonder why Gavin Newsom just bought a new, $10-something million home on a government salary? But I mean, hey, you got the largest economy. Woohoo! How about during the lockdown, shut down small businesses, but let large corporations continue to operate, right? Locked his people down in homes, but yet ran around to concerts and celebrity events and outings, no covering over his face. Or how he dumped sand in outdoor skate parks so kids couldn't go outside and skate. You remember all that? Forced. And if you didn't do this, you got let go of, defunded police, defunded fire departments, your basins, your reservoirs completely empty. So when fires do break out, you have water there. Yeah, they're still sitting empty, by the way. But they have the largest economy in the world and the highest taxes also. You forget that part. Didn't do controlled burns, still aren't doing controlled burns to prevent fires from raging out of control, right? Defunding your fire, defunding the police. This way, people left the fire department or fired from the fire department. And when the fire chief came out and spoke out about it, you know what happened to her? Oh, yes, she got fired. Yep, but they got the largest economy in the world, right? It's like you guys keep repeating that same line over and then completely negating everything else that Gavin Newsom has done. Gavin Newsom, a governor of California, that its own people tried to get rid of him. They tried to they raised over 1 million votes to try to get him out of their state. Their own governor. They tried to recall him because of how bad he is. But they got the largest economy in the world, right? Gavin Newsom is a snake oil salesman, and he is probably one of the most corrupt politicians our country has ever seen, but he's been protected by Washington because he's Pelosi's like nephew, right? When California doesn't even want their governor, but you think somehow he's going to be right to run the country. And here's the thing, your marching orders have come down. The same marching president, fail. Kamala, yeah, she's the person, get behind her. She's a competent politician. She's going to win the election. MAGA. What happened? Bad loss. Bad. Got destroyed on campaign night, right? Election night. Yeah. And now that same talking point narrative is being driven down. Everybody get behind Gavin. He's our new hero. Oh, why? Oh, because he spends all day on Twitter, X, talking shit to Trump instead of taking care of his citizens in California.
About Governor Gavin Newsom. Interestingly, this is the first time that Donald Trump has gone after Gavin Newsom since he started trolling him on social media. At 12:02 in the morning, Donald Trump just said Gavin Newsom is way down in the polls. He is viewed as the man who is destroying the once great state of California. Hell out of Trump.
Yes, when I see this little guy always doing this, sometimes I allow him to speak. If you have been following this channel, you realize I hardly talk about this Harris, or is Harrison, I don't know. Looking at what he put out, that is what Trump said. Gavin Newsom, everybody knows what he has done in the past anti-invade to California. For some time now, he take up a decision. I don't know, he paid people, these kind of influencers like this, to be using some kind of account to send out messages like Trump. People look at it, it was not even really funny. Along the way, you know, the Democrat Party, they pick that up every day. They are singing like a song, oh, Gavin Newsom is trending on social media, this, that. When I look at Democrat polls, Gavin Newsom may be surpassing Kamala Harris right now. But we all know it will be very impossible for someone like this to rule America. Very impossible. That is what I've observed. Gavin Newsom is someone we know is a chronic liar. That has always been the truth. It's someone that can tell you something now and switch it off the other way around. I'm not saying this based on what is happening now. It is what I've studied in the past till then. Comparing, watching his videos, that is what I know about Gavin Newsom.
Democrats are living in a broken home. Daddy got cooed and Mama left for vacation and never came home. So the house is a mess and the roof's starting to cave in.
My brother's a Democrat. I don't know why, but he is. My father was a Democrat. I know exactly why he was, but his party doesn't exist anymore. Now it's the left arguing for a cultural elite. No Democrat would have argued for open borders. You know, none of this. My father would have done none of this.
Cuomo's looking for a new home, and there just happens to be a big, beautiful house right across the street. It has a gold patio, marble trim, a big, beautiful flagpole, and great surround sound. DJ Donnie T was just testing it. He says maybe it's time for a real man. Do the Democrats need a daddy?
We need a presidential nominee. You're exactly right. We will not have a unified message in our party until the 2028 election. We have tons of really strong candidates.
Democrats got creamed running 2 moms and a grandpa, and now they want a daddy. And there's one guy shining his shoes for the father-daughter dance.
It's impressive to see how these Democrats are now coming out telling us, oh, the Democrat Party is not existing. This is Chris Kumo. They need a daddy. And some people are actually not really impressed with what Gavin Newsom is doing, because I understand he wants to be in the news, so people should be talking about him. Playing this politics, coming in to do this at this time, maybe this is what the Democrat base actually wanted, or what exactly. Looking at polls, Gavin Newsom is topping Kamala Harris. In fact, Kamala Harris should be out of politics already, because based on what I observe, Gavin Newsom is around 35, while she's around 25, AOC around 18%, things like that. Looking at it, I really want to observe how things will be going, because J.D. Evans' pod will always be there. Gavin Newsom, understand that J.D. is someone, if you are not tough up there, it will be difficult for him to handle. So, struggling to start today is their strategy. Thank you guys who has been there sharing out my videos. God bless you abundantly. If you notice, they don't recommend videos on this channel. So please, I'm begging you, share the videos.
They spent $24 billion last year on the homeless.
Yeah.
And what did they spend on preventing these wildfires?
Zero.
Zip.
Zip. And in 2019, I think Newsom said, I'm going to take care of the forests and maintain the forests and do all that kind of stuff. He didn't do anything.
Didn't do anything. And then on top of that, they cut the water off.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's all funny. And then I think all our tax dollars probably went for Gavin's hair gel. I don't know, but it's like, it's sad. It's like the place is just on fire.
Well, the whole state is just so poorly managed. It's so it's so frustrating and confusing. And then he gets on TV and pretends like everything's great. Mm-hmm. And California's the best. We have the best state. We have the most amazing economy. And like, you're out of here, dude. You've ruined this state. Personally ruined it.
Well, it's the same team that was up in San Francisco.
I had a gay professor in college.
Had a driver's license.
Yeah, you got.
What a voice. I cried.
Any barriers, don't mind making this easy. People line up for my advice. And you're walking away like I'm stupid. It's like, I line up.
It is to live in the White House.
Post this morning alleging that since I said I will prevail.
It also shouldn't be racial. 100
has been overwhelming. He lies and they're
not going to end.
He says, but what if he says self-defense?
There's no self-defense.
This is definitely a self-defense case. Was it
Registration Act?
You will be very...
Once again, the field was littered with Wintour does.
And black people don't want to live around ratchet black.
How bad is his reputation going to be?
It's bad.
I need to connect the dots.
Going to carry a level of weight.
Since we're talking about integrity, I'm confused as to